Yo, what's going on, guys? As promised, I'm coming at you with a full in-depth guide on the shrapnel build. I've been doing a lot of testing this week with hard mode coming out and all the Lego mods being available. So I've been grinding. But I think we've come to the final iteration of this build. Um, at least when it comes to the kind of mods. Obviously, we want to get best in slot, and that's hard to come by. But the exact mods, we know exactly what we want. We know exactly what memetics we want, all that good stuff. So let's get right into it. So first things first is going to be weapons and armor. Exactly like last time, we're going to be using the soaker as our main gun of choice. I know a lot of you have been seeing a lot of shrapnel builds and just the potential for it, but there are a few other things that we can use. Number one, the Div Evo as the secondary. This is another shrapnel weapon. Um, a lot of people have been using this crossbow as a secondary to prime targets, like bosses and whatnot. I prefer not to use it. I like to just boost the raw potential of this build. But for those who want to use the crossbow to get bullseye and vulnerability, you're more than welcome to use that. As it goes for armor, it's the same thing as last time. Gas tight helm. Now there's been a lot of debate between gas tight, the beret, and the caged. Where's the cage? Somewhere down here. But we've done the math. We've done the testing, more importantly, to see if that math is correct. And the gas tight helm is in fact better. I did watch a video of how the math breaks down, but pretty much the most amount of shrapnels you can get with this, it says it's 1, however, it is actually 2. The most you can get with this is 4, and the most you can get with this, I believe, is 3. If you do the math out, it's something like 20%. In reality, it's more towards 10 that the gas tight helm is doing in damage. However, with the test that I saw, the guy was around anywhere from 3 to 5% in between, but that's just hitting crits and weak spots and all that stuff. But in practice and reality, the gas tight helm is confirmed to be the best one to go to. So go for it. The next one we're going to be looking at is a one-piece Bastille set. I have mine as the mask, but it can literally be anything besides the helmet. This will give you a 10% base damage increase when you're above 70% HP. Who doesn't want more damage? And then the final 4 pieces are going to be Lone Wolf. So you'll get mag capacity, crit rate, and crit damage. All these things are going to boost your damage by a lot. I know a lot of people have been seeing, oh, crit and crit damage builds. It really does boost the damage by an absolute ton. So that's why we go for this. People also say the Falcon set, where is it? Right here. The Falcon set is the way to go. But if you guys actually compare the Falcon set to the Lone Wolf set, the Lone Wolf set does everything the Falcon set does, but better. Just better. So that's what we got for weapons and armor. Let's jump straight into the mods. So for our weapon mods, we're going to be using Shrapnel Smash. Now, a lot of you may be seeing the Precision. Precision is the subcategory. It basically guarantees weak spot on it. And then I believe if we go over to one of our armor mods, if you get Violent, that is crit damage. You want to go more for crit damage than weak spot damage. But either way, it doesn't really matter. Both are going to increase your damage. But Shrapnel Smash, specifically on your Soaker, triggering Shrapnel grants Shrapnel critical hit rate by 1% up to 2 seconds. And it can go 20 times. So basically, you can have a 20% critical rate increase for your shrapnel. And yes, shrapnel does crit, and when it does crit, it does a lot more damage. So basically, exactly like the Lone Wolf set, what you're doing is you're just trying to boost all your damage into crit and crit damage. So that's why we have this now. Again, there's been a lot of debate. this personally, from what I've done in testing, is the best one for your soaker. Onto the armor. Now we're going to be using momentum up. Fire rate is increased by 10% for the first 50% of the mag, and then weapon damage is increased by 30% for the last 50% of the mag. Again, this is a no-brainer. You're just boosting your damage and your DPS by an absolute mental amount. Now we did test it Fateful Strike, and I can tell you this much: this right here, I mean, it could definitely be better, but we were doing about 25% less damage with Fateful Strike compared to Momentum Up, just by switching out this one mod. So yeah, unfortunately, Fateful Strike is not the way to go when it comes to your head mod. Um, yeah, Momentum Up. When it comes to the chest piece, though, this is the only one that is more defensive mod. So I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. But personally, for me, I like having this one where it's having enemies within 7 meters grants you 50 or 10% damage reduction, and then taking a melee strike. So whenever a mob attacks you, you get an automatic 10% more damage reduction. I just like having the flat damage reduction. It's pretty nice. Onto the pants now. We have two different mods. Now, I did test both of them, and they are basically the exact same when it comes to damage output. The only difference I would say is just the fact that I didn't upgrade this one, so bullet siphoning in theory might be better if you get the right sub attributes. But they do about the same damage. So it's really just a matter of preference. I just went with the crit damage just because crit damage. But either way, if you get either one as a BIS or 3 perk roll, go for it. Now boots, this one um, is slow and steady. At all times, you're automatically getting a 10% weapon damage increase. And then when you're above 90% HP, you're getting another 10%. So there's only one little like caveat that makes it so that you get a little bit more damage, but you're constantly getting 10% more damage. So who doesn't constantly want 10% more damage? Um, Now there's some other ones that I think you can put in. I didn't end up using them just because, I mean, again, I'm more of a, if it comes on it and you don't need to do anything to it, that's for me. So I just like the base 10%, and if I'm above 90% HP, I get 10% more. Onto the gloves. Now this is a no-brainer. Um, the gloves are the best mods in the game just because every one of them is incredibly good for boosting damage, but the best one by far is going to be crit amplifier. Crit rate and crit damage increase. It I don't need to say anything more about that. It's just better than anything. And finally, for the mask mod, now this is going to be the hardest mod for you to get correctly. Um, I've said it on stream a few times that there's, I think, like 7 different like I guess you would call it elements or whatever you would call it. And then there's 3 per. So to get the right mask mod is like a 1 in 21 chance, and then to get the right sub attribute, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. But personally for me, I went with explosive shrapnel. This one, the 20th shrapnel is an explosive and deals 300% guaranteed damage and with a crit. So, to put it lightly, this one mod alone, when I hit that explosive shrapnel, will do anywhere from 20 to 40,000 damage for just one little hit. Is very, very good. But again, there's different options. I just think this one is the best. And well, when you guys start hitting for like a truck every 20 shrapnel, I think you guys will like it too. So now onto the Cradle Mimetics Override. Um, this is basically just passive upgrades. So whenever I think it's every 5 levels you get one, and you have to kill a boss, right? No, it's every 10 levels. My bad. But basically these are just passive little things that can help you out. Some of them are just going to be for my like average day-to-day routine, farming, all that good stuff. But some of them are very, very helpful to actually boosting your damage with the shrapnel build. So right here is going to be the first one. Damage plus 20% when holding SMGs, rifles, or LMGs, so that your soaker is considered a rifle. So you just get a positive 20% damage, which, again, if you guys know me, I love just getting passive damage. Reload 10% of the mag capacity from reserve when defeating an enemy. So the more magazine capacity you have, the better. So if you're at 50, you'll get five bullets from your reserve when you reload. It just makes it so that you can shoot forever, and you get 20% damage. Who doesn't want that? The next row is passives kind of thing. It really won't help you with damage, but it more helps you with survivability and staying alive. The first one is going to be reduces the cooldown of healing items by 30% and increases the healing effect by 15. So whenever you guys use a syringe, if it takes 10 seconds to come back to you normally, I don't really know the exact numbers, but instead it'll come back to you in 7 seconds. And if you heal for 100, instead it's going to heal you for 150, just basically. The next one is going to be agility. After rolling, damage reduction is increased by 15% for 4 seconds. Everyone's rolling constantly, all the time. Why not just get 15% damage reduction while doing it? I think that's a no-brainer. On to the next row, we have sprint movement speed plus 5, running stamina cost minus 15. It just makes you faster, and it makes you lose less energy, so you can roll a bit more. So these two stack very, very, very well. The next one is weapon damage plus 25% after 4 seconds for switching weapons or reloading. So you're just getting a boost for damage every time you reload. So boss fight, you reload, you get 25% more damage. No-brainer. On to the next row. Deadly combo. After hitting a weak spot with a bullet effect like bounce or shrapnel, bullet effect damage is increased by 25%. So every time you hit shrapnel with a weak spot, you are getting 25% more damage for that shrapnel for 3 seconds. So you're boosting your shrapnel. And then finally, the last one is going to be bullet hunt. After killing a target with ranged weapon, shrapnel damage is increased by 35% for 15 seconds. Pretty sure this means killing anything with a gun. Now, the translation, I can't really say is there, but that's just what I assume. So basically, if you kill anything, a mob or a boss, you get 35% more damage for a long time. In 15 seconds, you can basically keep this up at all times. So you're basically constantly getting a 35% bonus damage just for absolutely nothing. So now we are going to show off this build. I'm going to do a PvE demonstration as well as a PvP demonstration. So we're going to head over to the tree ant. And now, mind you, I'm not using anything to set up. I'm not using the hound. I'm not using the crossbow. This is just pure raw damage of the build. So for those who are looking to boost your damage even more by min-maxing, by prepping like this was Elden Ring, you are more than welcome to do that. This is just a showcase to show you how good this build is with no prep, just raw damage. So let's get to it. Okay, so right now we are over at the tree ant. We took out 2 of the little tendril things. We're going to take out the last one, and we're going to just show off the DPS on tree ant. Now, this is one of the easier bosses to complete, but this is just to show you how quickly you can melt things. You can do the same thing on the hound. You can do the same thing on the spider boss. And tomorrow, as of recording this video, it is tomorrow that pro mode where LEA and Forsaken Giant comes out. You can do basically the exact same thing. Maybe not for this Forsaken Giant, because that that boss has a lot of HP, but it's going to be quicker than everything. So let's get right into it. We kill this little tendril, go straight into DPSing the boss down. And you'll see just how quickly this can take down a great one. Okay. 100 seconds. We won't need more than 20 of it. There's half of the boss's HP. Before she could even do a single attack, boss is dead. So next we're gonna show off is the PvP. This is gonna be a pre-recorded clip from stream, so you guys will get to see exactly what it's like in PvP. And I can tell you this much: it is broken. Yeah, shit for me. And we can just get rid of all the color jellies for all I care. Me. Why are you using fucking layers, my friend? Damn, that desync, terrible. Oh, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Why is he bringing me closer? Here. Yep. Ah. That tiny little bit of burn tick, bro. A tiny little bit of burn tick. Bad positioning right now. And this dude really loves his fucking lighters. Holy fuck. Oh, that hurts. Bad. Bad. Did I not down that dude? Man. Oh, been chosen again. Prepare to die. Surprise, bitch. No! Not again. We're on the same team. Oh! Bring more! Behind you, silly! Oh, that dude hurts. Hey there, buddy. Just so you know, I don't think you can one-shot me now with that. Dre decides. Pam. Melted. Oh, my fucking nose is itchy. He can't fucking one-shot me anymore with that shit. Oh, that's good. That's good. One little quick thing before the end of the video. I forgot to mention in the mods what you should be looking for the sub-attributes. Now, there is a BIS role, and it is different than the beta. On the beta, you could get any sub-attribute together, but a beautiful soul on my server gave me some little information, or pointed me in the right direction to the information that I needed. You can't get crit damage as well as weak spot damage on the sub attributes for mods, which is unfortunate. You can only get one or the other. So basically, the best mod that you can get, at least sub attributes wise, will be crit damage, gun damage, health, and mag size. All these different things will help you in different regards. Mag size, obviously, the less you have to reload, the more you're firing. The more damage you're putting out. Health, the more damage you can take in, keeps you alive. You're putting down more bullets downrange. Gun damage and crit damage, no-brainer. This is just something that will boost your overall damage. I don't know exactly how the math of it works out. I don't know how they do it. I could theoretically figure it out, but base gun damage, I do know affects weak spot damage, crit damage. I don't think it's by as much as it says. So, like, say you get 5% gun damage, I don't think it's 5% increased crit or weak spot damage. I think it might be somewhere closer to like 1%. Either way, base gun damage will increase every other damage, and then crit damage is a no-brainer. You're trying to go for crit rate and crit damage to improve your DPS. But that's what I forgot to mention, and I just wanted you guys to know. But I hope this guide does help you out. I hope this sets you on your path towards the best build in the game by far. I've already seen people with 118,000 damage with like all the prep and whatnot. I assume if you get what we have right now, you could definitely boost that way, 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 way higher than 118. The guy that I saw, I don't think he was min-maxing, especially after doing the math and all that stuff. So I assume that if you were to use the crossbow, use the right deviant, and just do all the prep, eat the right food, you could theoretically get this build upwards of 150 to 180,000 damage per second, which is mind-blowing. But we're not going to be trying to get that high. I think for us, our goal without the prep will probably be around the 100,000 damage range, which in and of itself is good. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys. So Thank you guys for watching this far in the video. I hope each and every one of you guys has a wonderful day. And as always, take care. And I'll talk to you guys later.